I'm Tyler.
I'm Shorty.
I'm Miles.
I'm Kara.
And we are The Inner Idiot.
This podcast contains graphic language, violence, and other things that you probably should not let your children listen to. Please enjoy. Hey, Ty, if you wanted to make a podcast, how would you do it?
Spotify Podcasters app, of course. Or hell, even the website.
Do they have any way you can edit audio and help with organizing your episodes?
All that and more. You can reach out to listeners and have feedback with their Q&A feature, and it distributes it to all other major places you listen to podcasts.
I just looked, and they got a video podcast set up and editing tools here, too.
So all you got to do is sign up at SpotifyForPodcasters.com or get the app, and you're done.
Damn, it's just that easy. All I know is apparently my sister has issues with me. I don't know.
I don't know either, but you hear us. You know what that means. Get the lube ready. Lube up your ear holes, or else we're going in raw. That's right. I'm your host.
I don't like that.
You don't like it? I love it.
It's going in dry.
It's going in dry.
Raw, dry, whatever.
No, raw implies no protection.
All right, lube is protection.
It does not.
Unless you got your blue eyes white dragon with you.
Look, we're just starting this episode off weird, people. I'm your host, the big, the bald, the beautiful, the brash, the bumbling, and the oftentimes bastardly MC Tyler Havlin. How's everybody doing today?
Good.
All right, everybody watching on Facebook, the couple people that are today, it's a light crowd in the Facebook world today. That's all right.
It's Friday.
It is Friday. I love every one of y'all listening. Just want to throw that out there. Without further ado, let me introduce to you my wonderful co-hosts. Plural. Because it's hard to say co-hosts and have it sound plural. To me, it just sounds like one.
Well, you have co-host
and co-hosts. Yeah, I know, but it's just words.
You need to emphasize that last S there, bud.
Co-hosts.
There you go.
I'll add a couple. I'll add two because there is two of you today.
I was going to say snake, but I don't want to
get
them all fucked up.
I have figured out, if you ever see my ass running, it is for one of two reasons. There is a snake chasing me or a goose chasing me. I really fucking hate geese, and I have come to understand this probably almost as much as I hate snakes.
The cobra chickens?
Yeah, cobra chickens.
Cobra chickens.
There we go. Perfect. All right. So without further ado, let me introduce to you my lovely co-hosts. The Lord that is never bored, the commander of the comic books. He's been petting kitty and grabbing titty since December 11th, 2020, dumb. Look, he ain't got a shirt on today, and the last time we recorded, he had a shirt on, so it fucked me all up. 2 claps and a Ric Flair for Lord Shorty Fresh in the flesh. Woo!
Oh, we missed it. I'm sorry. My bad. We missed the last couple episodes. But 2 claps and a Ric Flair for Tyler Havlin.
Woo! Man, those are so in sync. If you go back and you listen to early episodes, our 2 claps and Ric Flairs were just all over the place. And now it's just smooth like butter. Like every time. Just like they did lube up their ear holes.
We're going to get Kara back in here, and she's gonna woo. She's gonna do it, whether she likes it or not.
Wishful thinking. Alright.
You're gonna woo and you're gonna like it!
And now our residential doctor, he's a Jedi in the streets and a Sith in the sheets, ladies. He'll steal your heart, but not your credit score. But you better keep your soul safe, because he might steal one of those too. If you got a pap, he'll smear it. 2 claps and a Ric Flair for Dr. Miles Sham. Woo! So perfect.
I like how you said souls, like they might be carrying more than one with them.
Some of these bitches probably do. No offense, ladies. But I'm just saying. You probably do.
Oh, that's fucking great.
No.
Great. Wow, turn your volume down.
I did.
Shoo-wee, you're just in here fucking shit up. Alright, today's top 5. Yes, we're a bunch of idiots, so obviously a lot of things in life confuse us. But today's top 5 is top 5 things that confuse us. Miles, we're going to start it off with you like always.
So top 5, descending order. I have most forms of science confuse me.
Most forms of science?
Yes. I like what they do. I like that they explain and make our world. But the fact that there are so many subcategories and caveats and it can be so highly specialized. Mm-hmm. It's like where... Like this all started with just one guy looking at a rock and said, "That's a nice rock." Boom, geology. Boom, archaeology. We're studying old rocks. Like it just...
You know what? This is something that I have a question with. Is before we had the science of carbon dating, how did we know a rock was older than other rocks?
I'm guessing it just looked a little dingier.
It could get into the bar when the other ones couldn't.
Idiot.
You cut it down. You cut it down the middle and count the rings from the center. I don't know.
You know, but a lot of that shit confuses me because I'm just like, how do you decide where it splits into a new category?
Sure.
You know, so that bugs me a little bit.
Yeah, I feel that.
Then we have the universe itself. We've discussed this one, you know, outside of the show.
Yeah, we have.
But a never-ending expanse that we're just growing
Hey,
into.
I love how he's looking away. He just doesn't.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't want to think about it.
The existential crisis is setting in.
I like to bury my head in the sand, not have my head in the stars, okay? I don't want to think about the fucking universe.
Well, your head can't be in the stars because they're never in the same spot because we're always moving.
Here we go. Here we go.
He's starting to breathe heavy, guys.
After that, anytime I've watched a movie, how they portray high school confuses the fuck out of me because it's nothing like they ever show in any movie.
Like in what way?
So you're telling me the kids weren't all singing and dancing around the lunch tables and shit?
There's that.
You guys never had dance battles at your high school?
I've never just walked into high school and
I
kids
didn't
are just...
either. I was just wanting to know if you guys...
I mean, technically I did because me and my sister would play DDR.
That's true.
You know, but like in movies, like, oh, here comes the new kid to high school and kids are just sitting all over the grass and shit waiting for the boat. Like, that doesn't happen.
No, if you ain't got to be at school, you ain't at fucking school.
Exactly. No one just hangs out there. You don't have people skateboarding through the hallways and acting a fool. Just, this shit doesn't happen. It's confusing. It's like, why are you putting this mental image and thought process? And high school's not like that.
They had a lot of time in between classes in the movies also. A lot of shit happens in between classes in high school movies. And in real life, it wasn't like that. Like, you had to run to the other side of the fucking building. Fuck going to your locker. I never even used my goddamn locker unless I was hiding my weed. I didn't even put my cigarettes in there.
Way to out yourself, Ty.
It was high school. It was fucking a lot of years ago.
I carried my smokes in my backpack and was done with it.
You know what I did? I would hollow out metal pins and stuff cigarettes in my metal pins and just carry around like 4 or 5 pins at school with me.
No, I kept my shit in my backpack.
I was always afraid I was going to get searched, but I was a bad kid. Like, I was doing a lot of dumb shit.
I was not as bad of a kid. Next up is the internet.
You don't
Just
understand
follow me.
it?
No, I understand it, but this is why it confuses me. So anytime we get on the computer and we're on a website or whatever, like somebody just made this and thought it up and put it all together, connected all these computers. But like, what is the internet? What is it? Where's it at? It's just a bunch of zeros and ones and electricity.
It's the information superhighway, my man.
That's what I'm saying. So has it always been there? We just didn't have ways to access it?
Look, you're making me think way too much right now.
You know, did somebody wake up one day and be like, hey, you know what would be really fucking cool? I'm going to carve this log to look like this. Like, what? Like, how did this idea come about?
God
How did we
damn you,
harness
Miles.
it? It confuses me.
Yeah, thanks.
And it scares Tyler.
Now
I like
I'm confused. And
You
trying
wanted
inside.
us. You gave us this list.
I didn't think about it, obviously. I didn't think, they're really going to fuck up my day with this list.
Miles is gonna do that. Pretty much every list.
Yeah, nah, I don't know. Usually his list don't fuck me up. This is fucking me up. Go ahead, continue. Let's make me want to just take a fucking 9-month nap.
You gonna get pregnant?
I know, that was weird.
You said 9 months. The first thing that popped in my head was pregnancy.
No, I just need to sleep for a long time to forget this shit.
Why? We talk about it and then you go to sleep, but you're going to dream about it.
Oh, fuck.
Should be Tyler running through a high school universe.
Stop
Internet,
expanding.
no. And number one on my list is women. I will never fully understand them. And I just... No, I don't get it.
Heard that.
Heard that. I think I understand enough that I need to.
I don't know, sort of like we were discussing. I think we understand them on like a superficial level.
I don't even understand myself, so I'm not going to try to begin to understand a whole ass another human being, woman or man.
Yeah, but you know, when I think of like you guys, I can put myself in your guys' mindset to an extent.
Sure.
To kind of understand where you're coming from with things.
How does that feel, putting yourself in my mindset? Do you feel like you need to take a shower afterwards?
Every time I speak.
No, I definitely, you know, when I'm thinking like Tyler, I'm like, man, I should probably read more books. That's it. That's my list.
So I make you strive to be smarter, is what you're saying.
No, you make me strive to make you smarter.
Well, there's that. But you said you should read more books. So even if you're putting yourself in my mind space, reading more books.
He about said mind spec.
Mind spec.
Yeah, we look at Tyler's specs compared to mine. There's a slight difference. Mine
Right.
just, you know, requirements, hugs, and attention.
That's about all I need. Alright. Shorty, you ready now? You got this?
Yeah, I think so. The last one's gonna be my number one. But the rest of them are kind of in any order. Gatekeeping interests confuses the hell out of me. Because if you're sitting there talking about what you're interested in, and somebody's like, oh yeah, I've heard of this, and it might be something you know or think is common knowledge, and you make them feel stupid for it, like, man, you should be enjoying the fact that somebody else is taking interest in what you are interested in, or, you know, you should be like, oh yeah, cool, I've heard that too, you know, or whatever, try to build that up. Or do what I do. Yeah. I try not to be dismissive about it, but...
I try not to be dismissive about it, but I can sort of see where like it started from, because like when I started getting into a lot of my interests and hobbies, it was met by a lot of those people.
Sure.
So, but then once you're in, it's almost like they pressure you to keep other people out and do the same shit.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know. I think it's because I hang out at the comic book store a lot, is like, I almost play down the knowledge that I have when I go into the shop and I talk to the guys who I know way more than me. That way, like, they won't, you know, sound condescending or whatever when they're talking to me. You know what I mean? Because if you just are genuinely interested, they'll speak to you as if, you know, they're giving a seminar or TED Talk or whatever. You know, so, like, that's really cool to me. And I enjoy listening to those guys speak.
I think the other side of this, though, is because I can't stand the gatekeeping either. It's
Sure.
goddamn annoying. But I think at a certain point, like, if you're a new fan of something, and maybe it's because of the gatekeeping, I feel like you should be able to say, yeah, I'm a new fan of this. I don't know a whole lot about it.
Sure.
But people try to act like they know more than they know, and I feel like that's just that struggle between gatekeeping and new fandom where the two clash. Because when you act like you know more about something, then it automatically... losing my voice again. It automatically irritates somebody with you, right?
Not necessarily.
Eh.
I guess it depends.
If somebody, like... Because I'm really bad about that. I hyperfixate on small topics consistently. So I will think I know a lot when in actuality I don't. And I'll be talking to somebody who knows a lot about it and be like, oh, well, actually this, that, and the other. Like, oh, okay, cool. You know what I mean? Now, I have run into occasional person or whatever who's like, no, you're just wrong. And they proceed to explain it to me like I'm, you know, a third grader. You know what I mean? Like I'm an idiot. And then it's not okay.
Right.
But, like, if I come into it and, like, I'm taking my, like, 2 weeks of heavy reading into it versus somebody's, like... It's like if you try to come at me with some random Batman facts or whatever, and you were trying to tell... And I told you, well, no, that's not exactly what happened, and I explained to you, and then you try to tell me I'm wrong. Like, come on, man. Are we really going to go down this path? You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to go down that path. I don't know.
Like, that's... we're splitting hairs here. But, like, I'm not going to sit there and be like, no, you're an idiot. Now, I might, depending on how you...
To me, you
Yeah,
would.
yeah. But, like, anybody else, nah, probably not.
Well, I also think it's how they present it, too. You know, because a lot of people coming into, like, new games or, you know, fandoms or whatever, they're met with that resistance. But then you also have, like, the opposite. You have people who want more, you know, fans and people to get along with, that they, kind of like you said, they either hold back their knowledge or they're super willing to discuss it at length.
Sure.
But not in like a, oh my God, you're wrong, I know everything way.
Next up on my list is the comic book industry and why they do certain things that they do. Like, they'll come out with a really good title. It'll last 5 issues. And all of a sudden it obliterates. And never again. And they don't mention anything about it for 6 months. And then 6 months later, you get just a tweet saying, oh, hey, we canceled it. What? Why did you do this?
Now, see, that's something I don't understand about comic books is, you know, they'll have a set or storyline. Are those all considered canon, or is that just like individual comic line?
It kind of depends. Like, there's overarching canons, and the way, like, most, so, like, the big two, Marvel and DC, the way they do it is split it up in different universes or whatever. So if you're reading a story that doesn't line up perfectly with this, or, like, the history's different, it's probably a different universe. Then another thing you got to take into account is certain things might not line up. Like, you're reading, you're going to read this story, and then the story in, like, you know, issue 1 through 5 is going to be whatever story. And then 6 through 10 might be a different story. And they might reference things from either this story or years ago. Like, that's when it becomes canon. So it does, like, sometimes they get rid of things from canon, sometimes they don't. The timelines are always hard to deal with because you're telling a story that's lasted, you know...
Decades,
exactly right.
Well, I mean, that makes a little bit more sense. You know, there's some, not that I've read extensively in the comics, but, you know, there's some I'll look at or read into. You know, it'll go through its, you know, its 5 issues, whatever, and then maybe they start a new storyline, which is fine. Let's see where the new story goes. But it's, you know, in that one line of comics, I assume that's the canon for this world. Then if we move to a new set, is that still...
Yeah, those are the same canon. Usually, most of the time that's within the same, you know, the same canon or whatever. The only exception is when, you know, they notably change entire settings. You know, Wonder Woman's really good about that. And Thor's really good about that. Where they're, like, changing worlds or, you know, planes of existence.
Something
or whatever,
big.
Yeah, like, that's where it gets a little murky on timeline and, like, canon, what is canon, what isn't. So...
What's next on your list?
Next on my list is you.
Okay.
You confuse the shit out of me. You come up with some of the biggest backwards. Yeah, backwards fucking bullshit that I don't fucking understand. You say some dumb shit that makes me laugh and I don't understand why.
I like it. I like being on anybody's list. I don't care what kind of list it is. Be the
You
shit
confuse
list,
the
hit
shit
list.
out of me, Ty. You confuse the shit out of me. And certain things you do, like, you might think you're being a good person, but really, like, you know what? No, hold on. Pause. Retract. You think you're being a big dick, but it turns out you're being nice and you bum yourself out.
What?
Yes. You try to pull, like, pranks or, like, things to set people up to watch them fail or to watch them, like, get frustrated and it doesn't work out. You frustrate yourself.
I'm trying to think of an example.
I can't think of one, but I've seen you do it.
Oh.
If Kara were here, she could probably give you an example. She'd be good about it.
She'd also give you all the write-ups you have waiting.
I don't think I've gotten written up yet this episode. I think I've been pretty good.
Not this. You haven't given your top 5 yet.
My top 5's pretty mediocre today.
Yeah. But if Kara was here, you'd get a write-up for it.
I don't... never mind. There might be one on here that I get a write-up for. It's alright.
The last one that I could think of, along with Miles, is women. I don't fucking understand them. They confuse the shit out of me. Now, I've come up with a short list of things that make women happy.
A list inside of a list? I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Listception.
Listception. The 4 things to make women happy that I've noticed is food, letting them nap, occasionally fucking them when they want it, and communication. Now, the problem with those 4 things is they splinter off into like 50 fucking things each. And it's very complicated. And sometimes that is not a straight line. Sometimes it's a fucking maze. You know,
Sometimes
I'm no David Bowie. I can't navigate this fucking labyrinth, all right? This shit's fucking weird. And women confuse the absolute fuck out of me. Like, I told a girl this list recently. She's like, oh, yeah, you got it nailed down pat. I was like, really? She's like, yeah. I was like, so you want to go on a date? She said, no. I said, if I got this shit, we're talking, right? But you don't want to go on a date or nothing? Like, what the actual fuck?
Makes no sense. Confusing as shit.
I got a fucking... I'll feed you. I'll fuck you when you want. I'll let you sleep. Fuck, I'll watch you do it. Make sure you do it right.
Oh, man, I'll watch you sleep.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what's wrong. That's right.
I usually don't say that.
He just does.
But yeah, it's fucking... And I'll talk to him. I'll fucking talk my heart out. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, you missed the communicate on that last one. You didn't communicate communication.
What?
Yeah.
No. I said communicate.
Not on the last time. You said, I'll fuck you, I'll feed you, and occasionally I'll watch you sleep.
Yeah, and then you just said, and I'll talk to you.
Yeah, and I'll talk to you.
Yeah, but that was well after the fact.
Well, we had to get to fucking sleep.
Yeah. After you watch a motherfucker sleep, then I'll...
Well, you know, fucking... Everybody's got to have their hobbies. You're sleeping, I'm not. You know, fucking... You want me there in the bed with you, so fucking... What else am I going to do? You bitch about the TV on, so I'm going to sit there... Yeah. Alright, fine, I'm going to find something else entertaining.
Confusing piece, like... They're ready for naps in bed, and like, coming to bed? I don't sleep.
Donnie Clay Aiken... I don't know.
And then they just make...
Donnie Clay Aiken is... Do any of you know?
Don't Clay Aiken that shit.
Oh, don't. I don't know who Clay Aiken is.
Clay Aiken's an old fucking boy band singer.
Wasn't he like the opera singer on American Idol? Wasn't that him?
I think he was on American Idol. He turned out to be gay.
Yep, that's who I'm thinking of. He was on there with Ruben Studdard. I
still don't know what the hell Rosemary was talking about.
I don't either. But that's alright. That was your number 1, right? I'm happy I made it on your list as a number 2. That's really impressive.
You're welcome.
I'm really high on that list.
Still disappointed in it.
No, I'm not disappointed at all. Told you, I don't care what list I'm on, as long as I'm on a list. Alright, here's my top 5 things that confuse me. My number 5 is, why are you all single? That confuses the shit out of me.
Haha! Allow me to list you 4 reasons that should give me a reason not to be.
I mean, as we learned, you're the cute redhead. Because it doesn't matter what I say. So Miles is the cute redhead. Shorty, I mean, he's a stud. Dude never wears a shirt. His nipples are aggressive. That could be the only thing. That could be the only reason I could foresee that you're single.
Did I tell you about the conversation I had with my doctor?
No.
So fucking, I was doing...
Was it this doctor or a different doctor?
An actual doctor.
Oh, okay.
No, but I was up doing one of my sleep studies, and afterwards we're going over, you know, the information and stuff. And he's like, do you have any questions? I was like, yeah, hypothetically, how much would it cost to get my nipples removed? And he, like, looked at me, and he was like, this isn't pertaining to this. I was like, no, but you said ask if I had any questions. He was like, why do you want to get your nipples removed? I was like, hypothetically, doc. Hypothetically. How much would it cost? He said, I'm not sure.
I mean, that could be the only thing I think. Maybe wear a shirt more often so your nipples don't scare off the ladies because they want to have the stronger nipples. I'm just spitballing here. I don't know. But yeah, the reason... Wait, you two are single and I'm not. Like, that confuses me. Highly. Again,
women are attracted to funny dudes. I am not funny.
Well, you're funny.
No.
Yeah.
No.
All right, number 4.
We're situational comedy.
Yeah.
Well, the situation
I'm funny when I'm pissed. Like, I've noticed that. I've gotten several numbers from women when I'm fucking angry.
Yeah, you've told me about this.
It fucking annoys the shit out of me. Gets me even more numbers.
All right, number 3 we talked about on a couple episodes ago is why the Northern Kentucky, Cincinnati area is called the Midwest. Confuses the shit out of me. If you look at a map...
I told you the history of it, right?
Yeah, you told me the history of it, but times is changing, people. Times is changing.
Yeah, get with the times, fucking boomers.
If we talk about these scientists that Miles were talking about...
Yeah, fuck them guys.
Like, we need a new scientist.
Another one.
You came up with another one?
Yeah, go ahead. Finish
No,
yours.
let me hear it. It's okay. I've already hit on the Midwest thing before. We all have.
Okay, so like you know how this is only because of the science guys. So you know how like theoretical physicists and science or whatever, like those guys are like all into science and shit like that, and they have to have faith that more exists, right? Why do they continuously bash religion? Because it is based around faith.
I don't know. I've heard this argument. Did we talk about this a couple
We
weeks?
probably did.
I feel like you and I talked about this on the road.
Probably. That is something that has always confused me. Like, oh, I'm a theoretical physicist or a theoretical who gives a shit. And I'm like, okay, so cool theory. So the theory of religion, really, faith. No, that's different. So you have faith that there is more science or this science can be proven. However, you refuse the fact that any religion of any faith is wrong.
Well, I mean, a magical fucking district manager deity in the
Black
sky.
matter, dude, could be considered magic.
Yeah,
Magic
I guess.
is just science that isn't explained yet.
Magic.
No, he's absolutely right.
No, I've heard that before. Yeah. No, it makes sense.
Just the
No,
the two are almost indistinguishable.
Yeah. I mean, if you fucking take a lighter to a caveman, you are a wizard.
I want to be a motherfucking sorcerer.
It's a wizard, but alright. One's born with magic, the other one learns it.
Which one's which?
The sorcerer is born with magic.
Well, I'm gonna need to be a sorcerer. I don't like learning.
Well,
too
then you
much
better
shit.
I
hope
don't
your
like
mom
learning
fucked a
this.
dragon.
I don't like learning the stuff.
Did you say my mom fucked a dragon?
That's the only way.
She probably would have. She was
That's
fucking
not the
mean
only
to
way,
me.
is it?
I mean, there's other, but that way seems the coolest.
We're getting off topic.
Hey, I'm here for it. People fucking dragons and shit.
We can talk about it next. We can talk about it next segment.
All right, my number 2 is
Hi, Holly.
we talked about this a little bit before the show started, the whole TI thing, but rappers getting into comedy. It makes no fucking sense to me. The two worlds in themselves, the two art forms, almost directly contradict themselves. Like if you say something in rap, you're supposed to mean it. You know what I mean? Like if you say some jacked up shit about somebody in rap, like that's because you really don't like the person. Whereas
Isn't that called a diss track?
yeah, something like that.
Word.
Whereas if I say something
Word.
about somebody, like I usually only fuck with the people I like when it comes to comedy. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like I rip on you, I rip on you, I rip on Michael J. Fox. Like I like these people, so let's make them fucking uncomfortable.
Is that why you make fun of Austin St. James all the time?
No, he is Austin St. John. Get his fucking name right.
St. James.
Fuck him. I'll become a goddamn rapper and make a diss track about Austin St. John. Fuck it. If you don't know who Austin St. John is, he's the original fucking Red Ranger. He's a fuck. I hate him. Fuck you, Austin St. John. God damn it. Why'd you have... Look, I'm off... I don't even remember where I was going with this. Fuck.
Rappers and comedy.
Yeah, well, I don't care. Austin St. John's on the brain now. My number 1 is half-price sushi. Fuck it. You
Oh, we
got
had
me
this
all fucked
conversation
up
too.
now. I'm all thinking about the universe expanding and Austin St. John's ego expanding with it. God damn it, Miles and Shorty. Half-price sushi ain't half prices if it's discounted every day. That's just cheap sushi, people. That's my number 1. You ruined it. I'm done. Get us to the next segment.
I mean, we could just pause the recording and keep talking about stupid shit.
Oh, I don't want to talk about stupid shit. I want to be able to think the rest of the day and not have burnt toast.
Oh, shit, didn't stop.
Do you love podcasts? Of course you do. That's why you're here. But you know what's even better than listening to a podcast? Making your own. That's right, and Anchor makes it simple. I'm your favorite host, MC Tyler Havlin, and I'm telling you, go download the Anchor app today, Anchor FM. They have all the tools you need to get started today. And best part is, it's totally free. They push it out to all the major platforms like Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts. So get started today, people. Go download the app, Anchor FM. I'll wait. Do it now.
And we're back, and my brain's just as fried as it was before. Ain't nothing changed. I'm still trying to figure out the universe and shit.
It's alright. Austin St. John's got your back.
Of course, Austin St. John.
I could only hope that's the thing that brings them together, their mutual distrust of the universe.
You might have a best friend.
No, you know what? Screw it. Austin St. John, I'm gonna offer out the olive branch of peace. We can sit down and talk about this like grown civilized men, but you can't look like a cat pissed in your mouth the whole time.
I don't think What an odd analogy for somebody.
He just, if a cat pisses in your mouth, are you gonna like? It's probably gonna be sour and gross. And
This is why we should have been on live still.
I like how he says probably gonna be sour. Like there's a chance it might taste good.
Well, I don't know. Like, is sour gonna be the right like? Is it gonna be like just a really bad salty taste, like the salt sour? Salt's not sour. Salt's salty.
Bitter at best.
Yeah, it could be bitter. It could be sour. I feel like with the way cat piss smells, it's gonna be really sour.
Now that I'm thinking about it, like salty is just salty. It doesn't.
Yeah.
There is no discrepancy.
Salty is way too spicy for some people. That's how you know you're bland.
Is that right? Is that it? That's how you know you're bland?
Yeah, when salt is the spice.
Some people just don't like spicy. We're looking at you, Shorty. But he likes
peppers.
spices.
Peppers and shit are spicy.
Yeah, but the day Shorty's like, I can't put salt on, this.
Okay, so hold on.
Fucking
You're going
green
to tell me
beans.
right now there's never such thing as too much salt?
Oh yeah, easily too much salt.
Exactly right.
It takes a lot of salt for me.
The older I get, the more intolerant to salt I become. Like
No.
I used to load my biscuits and gravy up with salt and pepper. Now it's just pepper and a little bit of salt, if any.
No, I've always enjoyed extremely salty food.
Sure.
I don't know if it's just because my taste buds are fucked up. Like, I have to have stupid amounts to taste it, and they're just burning themselves off.
Look, at the end of the day, Austin St. John, we can sit down, we can talk, but I'm going to need you to not look so salty, basically.
Leave the cat at home and bring some mouthwash.
Yeah. Exactly. But let's continue to fry brains here. Miles, you got something for us?
Yeah, starting off, I'm going to go with technology. I love technology.
Sure.
I like my computer. I like my games. I like that it lets us hang out when we're not in person. But it bamboozles me. Because, again, it comes back to sort of like the internet. It's just, you have electricity running into parts that create all of this.
Sure.
A whole new world.
Yeah. And it's weird because to tap into this new world means it had to be there essentially from the beginning. Yeah?
I don't know if it's necessarily like the technology thing. I think the AI shit freaks me out more. It confuses the shit out of me. Like you see the AI like art that's becoming more of a thing. Like how it takes that information, like whatever data you give it, whether it be a song or whatever, because I've seen a lot of people do that, like giving it a song and having it develop AI art to that. It's oddly like the art is an odd representation, but you can relate it to that song well. You know what I mean? It's weird to me. The AI aspect of that and being able to create something like that is so bizarre to me.
Absolutely. Well, it's sort of, talking about AI, like all these robots and supercomputers they're making, like some of that shit's spooky. You're building a machine that is thinking it's human, believes itself to be a thinking, working thing, but it also kind of acknowledges it's not.
Here's my thing with it. All right, we created this world essentially, like the whole computer world, right?
Yes.
So maybe maybe we've got this ass backwards, backwards. How'd you say it earlier? Act backwards. I don't know. You said it some kind of way.
I said it fucked up is how I said it.
And it brought me joy. But maybe we've got it backwards, and these AI actually look at us as deities. We did create them. Maybe we are their deities.
It's possible, but you can also look at some of these videos when they put multiple of these machines together. Some weird shit happens.
Have you seen the Boston Robotic videos?
What?
Boston Robotics. I think that's what it is.
No.
So basically, they make these robots, and they have them do things. Like there's this one that's it stands on all fours. I know you guys have seen it when I explain it.
You're talking about the ones that like you can kick or whatever, and it
Like tries to open the door and stuff.
Yeah, and then there's one like they keep hitting it with something, and eventually it takes away the bat, and like
what?
Yeah, dude, it's hilarious. It is absolutely hilarious, but I believe it's Boston Robotics.
Oh, well, there's stuff like that, but then they have some of these like ones. It's literally it just looks like a bust of a head.
Yeah.
But it's all computer.
I've seen this.
They've put 2 and 3 of these in the same room together, and after maybe a few minutes, they started talking in an indecipherable code to each other.
I don't think that was robotic
Did not know
heads. I think
that.
that was just they developed 2 AI programs that.
Well, no. There's one where it was just 2 AI programs, but this one was a bust of one head and like the upper torso of another one. And they were having a normal discussion between themselves. Yeah, that's right, themselves, because they're entities, I don't know. And then the people who were there recording and stuff. And they started carrying on, and then they started firing off in essentially like a encrypted language to each other.
Sounds like rain, don't it?
Does sound like rain.
Neat.
You know,
it's
weird.
That to me is a freaky thought. Just them being able to develop a language so quickly and being able to understand it.
Mm-hmm. And it not be decipherable.
Right.
Because they're only working on the information they've been given.
Right.
So does an AI have to be connected to a network, or does an AI become standalone? Because here's the thing: if those two things that were sitting there talking to each other themselves, then it's whatever the fuck they was, whatever the fuck they is. If they're talking to each other and they're connected to a network, and they've come up with this indecipherable language, then it is in the air now. It is in the fucking cloud. Like, it's there. There's no taking it back.
What they are is if they're white. What they is if they were black.
All I know is
this episode's gonna be heavily edited, ain't it?
Maybe.
It's weird because like you said, it's out there. They can't find it. They can't decipher it. Nothing.
Don't they have protocols though, like that state that they
God,
have,
I would hope so.
like they can't connect it to the internet? Because like
I think some of them are connected to the internet.
to me that's terrifying. Because like, okay, so like you guys have seen Ultron, right? Like the Avengers Ultron. Like eventually, something like that's gonna happen. Ultron is gonna get a hold of the internet, watch it for a whopping 5 minutes, and decide humans are a detriment.
Well,
And they need to be eradicated.
The hell, there was a movie about that. The 7 little Stitch dolls. What was it called? Like 7 or something?
9.
9.
That's such a good movie.
It was.
It was. It's short, but it's really good.
But it goes along that same concept. Robot AI
Yeah.
went berserk when it saw what it did.
Oh.
Like what? If you're true AI though, like what firewalls are gonna stop you? You live there.
None. That's why it's
That's
such
what
a
we're
scary
saying.
thought.
I know, and I'm just reiterating the fact. But if they look at me, they're gonna be like, we got nothing to worry about. Like, just let them live in ignorance. If they look at y'all, they're gonna be like, look, these motherfuckers are catching on.
I think right now the problem is like we don't have the full on technology to develop like a humanoid or monster like robot that can move quickly enough or efficiently enough without a streamlined form of power that would give it that opportunity. And I don't think AI would be able to handle unnatural circumstances as far as like, because the human element is something that I don't think we would ever fully be able to mimic.
Yeah, the ability to adapt and change to something we've never heard or seen.
Right.
Whereas in AI, it has to be programmed in there.
To an extent, that's what's scary about some of this stuff is the way they are programming it and making it, it's able to learn to a degree because they have these computers playing chess.
Sure.
You know, so it has to, you know, they can formulate and put in every programmable move, but if they're playing against a human opponent and that person makes a move, they then have to run through that entire algorithm in a split second to decide its move. You know, so it's able to process and adapt on the fly. You know,
but those all moves have been seen in chess.
Yeah, theoretically, there's never been a move that
new
hasn't been done.
move. But still, it's still a thought. You know, what happens when one of these things is like, you know, wait a minute, I'm starting to think I'm the superior one, and then it uses its vast knowledge to, you know, take over a factory.
Well, see, that even brings into like the idea of souls and whatnot. So, like, if you know, a soul is omnipotence, like, or the not omnipotence.
So what you're saying is a soul is placid.
What?
Nothing.
I appreciate you.
Thank you.
I don't get it. It went over my head. I'm confused as fuck. But no, so like if you know we as souls have the ability of free will, like if AI develops its own form of free will, then does it have a soul? Did we manufacture a soul?
This is getting really deep.
Yeah.
Man.
Seriously,
I'm glad
like,
I brought my swimming trunks today. What is a soul though?
Well,
Like that's the problem.
Well,
What's a soul? You
well,
can't quantify what a soul is.
It depends on your view, and that kind of touches on the other point we have down, just like religion in general.
Right.
You know, depending on what you subscribe to, kind of determines what your soul is, you know.
Sure, like people believe in reincarnation, where they're like, you are one soul that has traveled 1,000 lifetimes or whatever. And then I recently read about how some people believe that we are all the same soul, just from different perspectives, and we are all living different experiences to learn and gain.
Like a hive mind?
Kind of, yeah.
Or is your brain your soul? I mean, is everything like everything you feel, everything you think? It just comes from your brain, right? So essentially, we're just walking AIs.
We're 2 pounds of think meat.
Whatever deity was like, you know what? I'm gonna make this fun thing, like the internet, and I'm gonna call it the Earth, and I'm just gonna program all these fucking AIs.
I prefer the South Park method, where we're a bunch of alien species thrown on one planet to see what kind of shit show we can make for a television show.
That would be good too.
I'd watch it.
I mean, we're the AIs essentially, right?
Yeah, I mean, when you boil it down to it, yeah, we are all an AI, an individual intelligence, or you know, an artificial intelligence.
It's had to adapt over thousands of years because at one point it was just, you know, tribe life. We're all going to sleep in a big old pile and hunt down anything that gets close.
Sure.
You know, but yeah, depending on what you believe and follow, changes vastly what your soul is.
Sure.
Or could be.
Like, see, the idea, like, as somebody who grew up in the church and whatnot, like, the idea of souls never bothered me and never gave me much, like, thought. Like, I never really cared to think about it because it didn't matter. Because, like, I am an individual. I have my perception of the world and whatnot. I don't need, like, my soul can carry on for eternity or for now. Whatever. Not a huge deal. My bigger issue is the need to know what is next. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I die, does it just end? Or does it continue somewhere else? Via heaven, Asgard, who gives a shit what else? You know, like, what is it?
Yeah, that's where you need to know what the fucking soul is to even have a fucking comprehension.
Yeah.
But if we could transplant our brain into something else whose lifespan is going to live longer, do you think the soul goes with it? That's where my train of thought is.
Now that's something else that has come up before. They have talked about trying to do a full head transplant or brain transplant.
Into machinery?
No, between two people. So the story or study, I'm not quite sure which, that I had read about, was a whole host of doctors who have a veteran who is paralyzed from the neck down.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a medical volunteer, from what they said, who was on death row.
Okay.
He has decided to donate his body to this cause. So essentially what they want to do is take off the veteran's head and put it on this new body and see if they can repair it and make it work.
So attach the spine.
They essentially want to take your head, my body.
Right.
Like the whole head.
The whole head.
Eyes, nose, ears.
Everything. Clean. One clean
You ever
cut.
seen Mars Attacks?
No.
You've never seen Mars Attacks? Great film. Go check it out. No, they literally take the head off of one thing and put it on another. Now, that was a little bit more extreme. They put, like, a lady's head on a dog body, which is pretty fucked up, but...
They were basing it off of research, I guess, that had been done with rats and dogs. That they have been able
The
to...
aliens, yeah.
No. In real life.
Nah.
Yeah, they were able to take a body off one rat and put it on another. It, died shortly after.
Sure.
But this was years ago without the technology. So it makes me kind of wonder what is going on.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never seen that before.
So it makes you wonder, if they do this and they're able to put this dude's head on another body, who's waking up? Is it that guy?
Well, if it's his head
with
and
a
everything...
new body. Well, this is what they're saying, because it goes back to that whole kind of like soul's belief and what makes a person a person. Is it your heart? Is it your brain?
I think people attribute too much credit to the heart when it comes to, like...
Oh, absolutely.
Supernatural shit.
Just
but
in general.
Like, yeah, sure. But, like, your head, your brain, that's your think me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's doing most of the heavy lifting of everything. But your heart, nah. But that's...
But then that raises another question in the scientific community. If they're able to do this and they can figure out that, even though I think it's kind of a given.
Sure.
If you don't need a heart, obviously. If you can just preserve the brain in any manner, does that mean someone could essentially become immortal if they preserve the brain?
Well, see, wouldn't that be like wanting to hook them up and put them into a computer or whatever? That way they could think. Because then you're getting into like the Futurama aspect of it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's where I was heading with it. Are we all going to end up as heads in jars? Because that's the...
That sounds like such an awful existence.
It does, But it when people were pushing those boundaries and doing these kind of things, I'm like, man, is that where we're going? We all just going to be heads in jars plugged into a machine?
But could we make a way to where being a head in a jar was enough? Like, here's my thought. Follow me if you can. If you can, because I don't know if I can. All right, so you're a head in a jar, right?
Yeah.
But if you have the ability to control artificial limbs, does that make it okay? Or
I think you would be robbing yourself of a lot of human joy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because feeling, could you imagine what kind of a painful existence it would be to be not be able to feel?
Hugs would be meaningless.
Hugs, love would only be an idea at that point. It wouldn't be a physical connection. It wouldn't be whatever. It would just be an idea or speech.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that to me is what, like, the human connection and shit like that, I feel is a physical, tangible thing. I don't think, like, the human connection can be speech, but I think the physical connection is such a necessity. Because, loneliness, fuck, look at that. Loneliness.
I thought you were going to say, look at us.
Yeah, well, yeah. But, people who go a long period of time without feeling or, like, getting a hug or whatever suffer higher in depression and shit like that. So, if you put somebody in a jar, they're never going to feel it. Like, they're going to want to try to scoot themselves off that edge. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
It's just all thought-provoking and what-ifs and this, that, and crazy shit in the world that just don't make no sense.
Sure. I don't know, man. The idea of being a fucking head in a jar scares the shit out of me.
Yeah. Well, it's also, he was talking about, like, being put into a computer. If you're able to download your conscious or your whatever to a computer,
Elon Musk is actually working on this right now.
There's not just him. There's a lot of people. They're fucking. I just read a report last night actually that a group of scientists in Japan are working on half diving technology, which is like still being alive and semi-conscious, but being put into a virtual space.
No, I want full dive.
Yeah,
Well, that's
I'm
what
here- I'm
I
here for
want
a full
I
dive.
want sword art. I want to be trapped in there.
Well,
We'll be good at this.
They got to do half dive first, just so they can make sure that everything is safe and there's no repercussion to the
Let me
human
know my
body.
kids are all right and just send me on my fucking way.
Well, that's what we're working on. Like that's what
Me
they're
and Ty got to take floors one at a time.
One at a fucking time.
Well, see, then are we going to get into the Matrix standpoint where we're just going to fucking plug in the back of our head and go
Oh my
town?
god.
Leave me
Well,
plugged the
if
fuck
if
in.
we're already in a simulation, we're making our own simulation to escape theirs. Shh. Fuck them robots.
My brain's fried, guys.
Dude, I've been up for fucking 20 hours, bro. I am
You see,
beyond
you see
spent.
this number here?
I see that number.
That's how much sleep I've had since Sunday.
5 fingers, 4 fingers. I don't know. God damn it, I'm done.
4 fingers and 2 thumbs there,
Yeah,
guy.
I guess algebra being number 2 was right.
I think that's all we got for today.
So in the meantime,
In the betweens time.
I ain't got a closer. Just twiddle yourselves, people. We'll see you later.
Yourselves.